Taking you live now to Joe Biden, who has performed pretty dismally, it's got to be said, in the New Hampshire primary. Counting still underway, but he's certainly at the bottom of the pack with around 8.5% to 9% of the vote. Let's listen in to Joe Biden speaking now.
Important phase, because up till now, we haven't heard from the most committed constituency of the Democratic Party, the African American community. And the fastest growing segment of society, the Latino community. I want you all to think of a number, 99.9%. That's the percentage of African American voters who have not yet had a chance to vote in America. One more number, 99.8. That's the percent of Latino voters who haven't had a chance to vote. So when you hear all these pundits and experts, cable TV talkers talked about the race, tell them, it ain't over, man. We're just getting started. Our votes count too. We're not going to let anyone take this election away from you. Look, I've said many times, you can't be the Democratic nominee and you can't win a general election as Democrat unless you have overwhelming support from black and brown voters. It's just really simple. No, it's a natural fact. It's true. It's absolutely true. And folks, you know, all those Democrats who won against incumbents, from Jimmy Carter to a guy named Clinton to a guy named Obama, my good friend, guess what? They had overwhelming African-American support. Without it, nobody's ever won. No, really. And you all know you own my heart. Look, more important, should you not win the Democratic nomination for president, you shouldn't be able to win it without black and brown voters. Too often, your loyalty, your support, your commitment to this party have been taken for granted. I have never once in my career since I got involved as a kid taken it for granted. And I give you my word as a Biden, I never, ever, ever will. Now, if you want to know what any other candidates are going to do in the future, the tendency is to look at the past. Well, I left a law firm when I was a kid with a great job in a fancy law firm and to become a public defender, to fight for the people in the community I used to work in the East Side, because they couldn't afford a lawyer. On the county council, I fought against redlining. In the U.S. Senate, I passed the extension of the Voting Rights Act for 2 decades, the Violence Against Women Act. And by the way, I had the back of a great president named Barack Obama for 8 years. And by the way, we increased access to capital for African-American entrepreneurs. Let's get something straight. Given a chance, they do just as well as anybody else, and quite frankly, better, and they build neighborhoods. They build all communities. Barack and I were able to reduce the federal population, and speaking of HBCUs, I got $70 billion coming to HBCUs. Not a joke. And minority universities. Look, we saved the automobile industry. We passed Obamacare. We stopped insurance companies from discriminating against people with pre-existing conditions. And on top of all of that, we built an economy that Trump is bragging about. Oh, this guy squandered his father's fortune. Now he's squandering the economy we gave him. They all think I'm kidding. I'm not. So, Mr. President, instead of talking about impeaching Barack Obama, you should be saying, thank you, President Obama. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But folks, look, we have so much more to do. I promise you, as your president, you will be partners at shaping the policy to make sure every single American has an opportunity. The thing that I've never liked, and I was chairman of the Judiciary Committee for years, I don't know what you need best. I listen. You all, the leaders of the black community, know what you need best. We don't listen enough. We take for granted. You know what you need.
You were just hearing from the man who wants to be the next US president, but he's having a tough time in these early primaries, in the New Hampshire primary and also in the Iowa caucus. We've seen Joe Biden performing pretty dismally. We have the latest results coming through to us with now 50% of the vote in that New Hampshire primary counted. You can see Joe Biden sitting pretty stubbornly on around the 8.6% mark. Bernie Sanders leading the pack, not overly surprising there, but you can see why Joe Biden left early and was making that speech that you just heard there in South Carolina, not doing well in that New Hampshire primary. But still, when it comes to the national polls, Joe Biden is still in the front of the pack in terms of those Democratic candidates. We'll keep an eye on those results as they continue to flow in this afternoon and keep bringing you updates throughout the day.